Every night on the road brings its own set of challenges, but that particular evening in Wyoming 3 years ago stands out vividly in my memory. The air was crisp with the bite of winter, and the moon hung low in the sky, casting an eerie glow over the desolate landscape. I had been driving for hours, the monotony of the highway stretching out before me like an endless ribbon of asphalt. As the miles passed by, fatigue began to set in, weighing heavy on my eyelids. But I pushed on, determined to reach my destination before the night was through. That's when I saw it, a figure standing in the middle of the road, bathed in the glow of my headlights. The figure was unlike anything I had ever seen before, its head oversized, looming unnaturally large against the backdrop of the night. I blinked, convinced that it must be a trick of the light, but as I drew nearer, the details became unmistakable. The figure was humanoid in shape, but there was something undeniably otherworldly about it. Its skin seemed to shimmer in the moonlight, casting strange shadows across the road. And those eyes, wide and unblinking, seemed to bore into me with an intensity that sent a shiver down my spine. I tightened my grip on the wheel, my mind racing with questions. Was this some kind of elaborate prank? Or had I stumbled upon something far more sinister lurking in the darkness of the Wyoming wilderness? Before I could muster the courage to confront the figure, it vanished into the inky blackness of the surrounding forest, leaving me alone on the deserted highway, my heart still racing with a mixture of fear and disbelief. After the unsettling encounter with the mysterious figure on the road, I couldn't shake the feeling of unease that lingered like a shadow in the back of my mind. But despite my growing apprehension, I pressed on, the highway stretching out before me like an endless abyss. As I drove deeper into the heart of the Wyoming wilderness, the landscape grew increasingly desolate. The only signs of life, the occasional flicker of wildlife darting across the road. But it wasn't until moments later that I saw it. A blur of movement darting across the highway, disappearing into the darkness of the surrounding forest. My heart leaped into my throat as I slammed on the brakes, my truck skidding to a halt in the middle of the deserted road. For a moment, I sat there in stunned silence, my eyes scanning the tree line for any sign of the elusive figure that had vanished into the night. But the forest remained silent, its secrets shrouded in darkness. With a shaky breath, I released the tension that had coiled in my chest and eased my foot back onto the gas pedal, determined to put distance between myself and whatever lurked in the shadows. As exhaustion began to set in, I found myself scanning the horizon for any sign of respite. And then, like a beacon in the darkness, I spotted it. A gravel rest stop nestled on the side of the highway, a small oasis amidst the vast expanse of wilderness. I guided the truck off the highway and into the makeshift parking area, the crunch of gravel beneath the tires a welcome reprieve from the monotony of the road. With a weary sigh, I killed the engine and leaned back in the driver's seat, the world outside cloaked in an eerie silence. I glanced at the digital clock on the dashboard, the numbers flashing ominously in the dim light of the cabin. Hours ticked by like eternity, each passing minute punctuated by the hollow echo of my own heartbeat. And then, just as sleep began to claim me, I felt it. A prickling sensation at the back of my neck, a feeling of being watched. My eyes snapped open, the darkness pressing in around me like a suffocating blanket. With trembling hands, I reached for the keys, the metallic jangle of the keychain ringing out in the stillness of the night. And then, with a sudden surge of adrenaline, I flicked on the headlights, illuminating the world outside in a blinding cascade of light. And there, standing at the edge of the clearing, was the figure with the unnaturally large head, its wide eyes fixed upon me with a chilling intensity. Fear gripped me like a vice as I fumbled for the gear shift, the engine roaring to life as I peeled out of the rest stop, leaving the darkness and the nightmares behind. As the first rays of dawn pierced the horizon, casting a golden glow over the rugged landscape of Wyoming, I continued my journey, the events of the night still fresh in my mind like a vivid nightmare. The miles stretched on, each passing moment filled with a palpable sense of unease. Eventually, I reached my destination, A nondescript warehouse on the outskirts of a small town, its metal exterior gleaming in the early morning light. The questions gnawed at my insides, filling me with a sense of dread that refused to dissipate. I sought solace in the mundane tasks of daily life, but the specter of fear lingered, casting a long shadow over everything I did. And then, just as I was beginning to convince myself that it had all been a trick of the mind, a news report caught my eye. A string of disappearances in the area, each victim vanishing without a trace, leaving behind nothing but unanswered questions and shattered lives. My blood ran cold as I read the details, the pieces of the puzzle slotting into place with horrifying clarity. Those figures I had encountered on the highway, they weren't hallucinations at all. They were something far more sinister, something that lurked in the darkness, preying on unsuspecting travelers like myself. As the truth sank in, a chill swept through me, leaving me shaken to my core. I had stumbled upon something beyond comprehension, something that defied explanation or reason.